Chosen one. Stop what you are doing right now, because what I am about to speak over your life is not something you found by accident. You were guided here. There is a reason this video appeared in front of you at this exact moment, on this exact day, in the middle of everything you are quietly carrying. And if you try to scroll past this, something inside you will pull you back, because part of you already knows. You were marked before you were born. You carry something that almost no one on this earth fully understands. Not even you yet. But that is about to change. Stay here, because in the next few minutes, I am going to open your eyes to what has always been true about you. And once you see it, you will never be able to unsee it. This is your moment. Do not walk away from it. I am speaking directly to you, not to the crowd, not to the thousands of others who may watch this, but to you, the one whose heart just shifted when those first words landed. You felt something, did you not? A recognition, a stirring. That feeling is not imagination. That feeling is confirmation. The spirit inside you knows the sound of truth, and it responds before the mind can even form a thought. So listen carefully, because everything I am about to release into this atmosphere is for you. Type the word yes in the comments right now if you believe you were led here for a reason. Let it be your first act of agreement. Let it be the moment you say to heaven and to yourself, I am ready to receive what has been prepared for me. Before we go further, if this message is already speaking to something deep inside you, if you feel something stirring in your chest, your support means everything to this work. There is a link in the description below and pinned in the comments where you can buy me a coffee. It is a small act that carries enormous spiritual weight. When you pour into something that pours into you, you open a channel of reciprocity between yourself and heaven. Every contribution, no matter how small, tells the universe you are ready to receive. Check the description and the comments for that link whenever you feel moved. Now, let us continue. You have always felt different, and I do not mean different in the way people use that word lightly. I mean different in a way that has sometimes made you feel profoundly alone. Different in a way that made you wonder, at your lowest points, whether something was wrong with you. Different in a way that made the people closest to you look at you with confusion, even when they loved you, because they could not follow the depth of what you were sensing, what you were processing, what you were carrying inside. You felt things more intensely than those around you. You thought about things more deeply than conversations around you were willing to go. You noticed things that others walked past without a second glance. And for a long time, maybe for most of your life, you tried to make yourself smaller. You tried to match the frequency of the room you were in. You tried to explain yourself to people who were not equipped to understand you. And every time you did, something inside you went quiet. That difference you carry is not a flaw. It was never a flaw. It is a function. It is the way you were engineered for the level of purpose you were designed to carry. The sensitivity you have, the depth of your perception, the way you feel the emotional temperature of a room before anyone speaks, the way you have always known on some level that there was more to this life than what was being handed to you. All of that is evidence of what you were made for. You are not broken, you are built differently. And the world does not always know what to do with things it cannot categorize. Type the number 1 in the comments if you have ever felt like no one truly understood you, even in a room full of people who loved you. Let me tell you something that changed everything for me when I finally understood it. There is a difference between a delay and a detour. A delay means something went wrong. A detour means the original route was not capable of handling what you are carrying. Almost every moment in your life that felt like a delay was not a delay. It was a detour. It was the road adjusting itself to accommodate the weight of what you are meant to carry into your next chapter. Think about the moments that felt like they were breaking you. Think about the season that felt the longest, the heaviest, the most disorienting. Think about the year you told yourself was lost, the door that closed right when you thought it was about to open. Now ask yourself this: who would you be right now if none of those things had happened? Would you have the discernment you have developed? Would you have the quiet, unshakable knowing that has begun to form inside you like bedrock? Number you would not, because depth does not come from smooth roads. Depth comes from having to dig for something when the surface gave you nothing. You were not abandoned in those seasons. You were being built. Type the number 2 in the comments if something in your life that once looked like a loss is now starting to reveal its purpose. There is something I need to address directly, because I know it is sitting in the back of your mind even as you watch this. You have asked the question in one form or another, usually at night, usually in the quiet moments when there is nothing left to distract you. The question sounds something like this: why is it taking so long? Or maybe it sounds like this: have I made too many mistakes to still be on track? Or maybe it is this: is the dream I have been carrying still possible? Or did I miss the window? I hear that question. And I want you to hear me when I say that the very fact that you are still asking it is your answer. People who are truly off track do not wonder if they are off track. They stop wondering. They settle. They stop reaching for the question because they have stopped reaching altogether. But you are still here. You are still asking. You are still reaching towards something you cannot fully name yet. That is not confusion. That is faithfulness. That is you honoring the call that has been placed inside you even when the evidence has been slow to show up. And I need you to know, the evidence is coming. It was not cancelled. It has been accumulating behind the scenes in ways that will make absolute sense when the door finally opens. There is a pattern I have observed in the lives of people who carry the kind of purpose you carry, and it looks like this. The period directly before the greatest breakthroughs in their lives was also the period that felt the most like nothing was happening. The silence before the acceleration is always the deepest silence. The stillness before the shift is always the most disorienting stillness. If you are in that silence right now, understand that the silence is not absence. The silence is preparation. What is coming is so much larger than what you expected that it required more time to construct. Do not mistake the construction period for cancellation. Take one slow breath right now. Breathe in everything that has been building inside you. Every unanswered prayer. Every night you held on when letting go would have been easier. Every morning you chose to get up and try again. And as you breathe out, release the fear that it was all for nothing. It was not for nothing. It was all for this. Type the word ready in the comments if you feel like you are standing on the edge of something new. And if you would like to subscribe to this channel, press the subscribe button now and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a word that was meant for you. There are messages coming to this channel that your spirit will need at exactly the right time. Staying connected to this space is part of the preparation. Now I want to talk about something that most people in your life have never been able to see about you. Something that has been both your greatest gift and your heaviest burden. You feel things before they happen, not always dramatically. Sometimes it is just a knowing that arrives before the explanation. A sense that something is shifting before the shift is visible. A recognition that something is wrong before anyone else in the room has picked up on it. A quiet pull toward something or away from something that you cannot always justify with logic, but that has, when you have followed it, proven to be right. This is not coincidence. This is not luck. This is something that operates at a level deeper than observation. It is wisdom that bypasses the analytical mind and speaks directly through the interior of who you are. And for most of your life, the people around you either did not have this or did not acknowledge it, which meant you often had to carry it alone. You had to learn to trust something no one else could see. You had to act on information that arrived without explanation. But through all of it, that interior knowing never went away, because it is not yours to lose. It was placed inside you, and it is growing stronger by the day. Type the number 3 if you have ever followed a feeling you could not explain, and it turned out to be exactly right. If you feel that this work has poured into your life, and you want to pour something back, there is a link in the description below, and pinned in the first comment where you can support this channel by buying a coffee. It does not have to be much. It is the heart behind it that matters. Your generosity seeds your own harvest when you give into the work that speaks life into you. Heaven takes notice, so if you feel led, go to that link now. Every offering is seen and honored. Now let us keep going, because what is still ahead in this message is the part your spirit has been waiting to hear. I want to speak now about the people who have left your life. There were people you thought would be there forever. People who walked with you through seasons that mattered deeply. And then something shifted, sometimes dramatically, sometimes so quietly you almost missed the moment it happened. And they were gone. What you lost was not just the relationship. What you lost was the version of your future that included them. And that kind of loss takes longer to name, longer to heal, longer to understand. But here is what I need you to know about every person who has moved out of your life. Not every departure is a betrayal. Some departures are protection. Some departures are direction. Some departures are the landscape of your life rearranging itself to make room for what is actually aligned with who you are becoming. You cannot carry your next chapter on the shoulders of people who were built for your last one. The empty space that a departure creates is not a void. It is a vacancy, and vacancies get filled. Not always immediately, but the alignment that is coming into your life was waiting for the misalignment to move out of the way. Stay open to what is forming. Type the number 4 in the comments if you have learned something important about yourself through a loss you did not choose. Now I want to give you something you can carry when you close this video. Not just words, not just comfort, but something to practice. Because the difference between content that changes you and content that merely feels good is whether it gives you something to do. This practice is small. It is quiet. But if you do it with intention every day for the next 30 days, it will change the way you experience your own life. Every morning before you look at your phone, before you check anything, before you speak to anyone, place one hand on your chest and say this out loud. I am exactly where I need to be. I am not behind. I am not broken. I am not forgotten. I am on the way to something my eyes have not seen yet, and I trust the route. Say it quietly if you need to. Say it in the dark if the sun is not up. Say it even on the days it does not feel true, especially those days, because those are the days when the practice does its most important work. You are not pretending. You are not lying to yourself. You are speaking to the part of yourself that forgets. You are reminding the deepest part of you of what is already true. The mind forgets, the emotions fluctuate, but the spirit holds what it was told to hold. Speak to it every morning. Give it the truth to carry. Type the word morning in the comments if you are going to try this practice. Let it be an agreement you make with yourself right now. There is a convergence happening in your life. Things that have been developing separately, skills you have been building without knowing why, relationships that seemed minor when they started, ideas that have been living quietly in the back of your mind for longer than you can remember. They are beginning to move toward each other. You may have noticed this as a feeling that something is coming together, even if you cannot yet say what. You may have noticed it as renewed energy around something you had almost given up on. You may have noticed it as a sudden clarity about a direction that has been blurry for a long time. Do not dismiss these signals. Do not explain them away. Faith is not the ability to see the whole staircase. Faith is choosing to take the next step in the direction you know is right, even when the step after that is still in the dark. You have been in a preparation season for longer than you expected. And that season carries a particular loneliness because the preparation is invisible to the people around you. They see what you are doing on the surface, and sometimes in a preparation season what you are doing on the surface looks like very little. It looks like you are waiting. But the work you have been doing in the interior, the discipline in private, the faithfulness in small things, the days you chose integrity when no one was watching, the times you kept going when stopping would have been easier, all of that is infrastructure. Buildings that last are built on foundations that take the longest to lay. You have been laying foundation. The building is coming. Type the number 5 in the comments if you feel like you have been in a preparation season that the people around you cannot fully see. I want to speak about confidence now, but not in the way that word is usually used. Not the confidence that comes from success or approval or accomplishment. That kind of confidence is real, but it is borrowed. It depends on conditions. It rises and falls based on what is happening around you. The confidence I am talking about is something different. It is the kind that exists below the conditions. It is the quiet assurance that says, even here, even through this, I am not finished. I am not lost. I am not forgotten. This is the confidence forming in you right now. Not because things are perfect, but because you have been through enough to know that you are not the kind of person who breaks permanently. You have bent, you have stumbled, but you got up every time. And that pattern of rising is evidence. Evidence of something in you that does not quit. And that thing that does not quit in you is not personality. It is purpose. Purpose does not let you stay down because purpose has somewhere to be. And you have somewhere to be. Type the word rising in the comments. If you have been through something that should have finished you but did not, you are entering a season of acceleration. I need you to hear that without the part of you that has been disappointed before stepping in to protect you from hoping again. I know that part is there. I honor the protection, but open just enough to let this in. What is coming is not the same as what has passed. The alignment forming around your life now is of a different quality than what you have experienced before. Not because the universe is finally deciding to be kind, but because you are different. You are not the same person who was disappointed before. You have been formed through that disappointment. You carry something now that you did not carry then. And what you carry determines what you can receive. You have been prepared for something you were not yet ready for when the preparation began. You are ready now. Not perfect. Not finished. But ready in the way that matters. Ready in the interior. Ready in your foundation. Ready in your capacity to hold what is coming without it overwhelming you. The acceleration is already beginning. You may not feel it yet as acceleration. You may feel it as a subtle shift in the atmosphere of your life. A feeling that something is different, even if you cannot say exactly what. A sense that the ground beneath you has changed even though it looks the same. Pay attention to that feeling. It is not wishful thinking. It is perception. Your interior radar is picking up on movement that has not yet become visible. Trust it. Move with it. The proof is forming around you. Type the number 6 in the comments. If you feel like something in your life is shifting, even though you cannot fully name it yet. I want to speak now about what is coming into your life in this next season, and specifically, about the people. Because the relationships being aligned with you now are different from the ones that surrounded you in earlier chapters. They will recognize you in ways that feel almost startling. They will understand things about you that you have spent years trying to explain to people who could not hear it. They will not drain you the way certain connections in your past have drained you. They will add to you. They will challenge you in ways that make you grow rather than shrink. And the reason this is happening now and not earlier is not coincidence. It is alignment. You have been growing into the version of yourself that these people can find. The loneliness of your previous seasons was not punishment. It was clarity being developed. It was your discernment being sharpened, so that when the right people arrive, you will know them immediately. You will feel it, and you will not talk yourself out of it the way you might have before. Pay attention to who shows up in your life in the coming weeks and months. Pay attention to conversations that feel different. Encounters that leave you feeling more like yourself rather than less. Do not rush past those moments. Let them be what they are. Evidence that the alignment is working. Type the word connection in the comments if you are ready for relationships that truly see you. Keep watching until the end of this video. What I am about to release in the final section is the part that ties everything together, and you will want to hear it whole. Now I want to give you the final thing, the thing I have been building toward this entire message, because everything said up to this point has been leading here, to this one truth, which is perhaps the simplest thing I could say and yet the most difficult to fully receive. You are enough right now, not when the breakthrough comes, not when the doors open, not when the recognition arrives, not when the proof shows up. Right now, in this exact moment, with everything you have and have not yet done, with every mistake you have made, and every dream you have not yet reached, with every wound you are still carrying, and every question you have not yet answered. You are enough, not as an excuse to stop growing, not as a reason to stop reaching, but as a foundation, as the ground you stand on while you grow, as the truth that holds you while you keep becoming. You have spent too long measuring your worth against your progress, too long treating your value as a variable that depends on outcomes, too long living as though you need to earn the right to take up space in your own life. That ends now, not because I am telling you to feel something you do not feel, but because the truth does not wait for your feelings to catch up to it. The truth is already true, and the truth is this: you were made with precision, placed with intention, and sustained with care. Every breath you have taken has been a gift. Every morning you have woken up has been an invitation. You are not here by accident. You have never been here by accident. And where you are going is not an accident either. So rise, not loudly, not dramatically, not in any way that requires anyone else to notice. Just rise inside yourself. Rise in the privacy of your own knowing. Choose in this moment to believe that your life is moving towards something meaningful. Choose to believe that the preparation was real, that the suffering was not wasted, that the closed doors were redirections, that the losses were not the final word, that the silence was not abandonment, that you are not behind, that you are not forgotten, that you are not too late. Choose all of that, not because it is easy, but because it is true. And carry that choosing into tomorrow. And the day after, and the day after that. Type the word chosen in the comments if this message has confirmed something you have known about yourself for a long time but have not always had the courage to say out loud. If you have made it to this point in the video, I want you to know that was not by accident either. You stayed because something inside you needed every word. You stayed because you are someone who goes all the way when something matters to you. That quality is part of what makes you who you are. It is part of what will carry you through everything still ahead. Do not let this moment be the last time you receive something like this. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already, and turn on your notifications, because there are messages coming that were made for seasons you are about to enter. You will want them waiting for you when you need them. Every message on this channel is for you. Every word here is spoken with you in mind. Type the word subscribe in the comments if you are committing to stay connected to this space. Before you go, think of one person in your life right now who is in the middle of a heavy season. Someone who is carrying something that feels too big. Someone in the silence, wondering if they have been forgotten. Share this video with that person. Not with a long explanation, just send it with a simple message that says, "This made me think of you." Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for someone who is struggling is to remind them that someone else sees them. Be that reminder for someone today. Be the reason someone else stays. You came here for a message and you received one. But you also left something here. You left an opening, an agreement, a willingness to receive. And that willingness is the most important thing you could have offered. The rest, the breakthroughs, the alignments, the open doors, they always follow willingness. They always find the open hand. Keep your hand open. Keep your heart open. Keep your eyes open for the evidence that is already beginning to appear. It is there. It has always been there. This is not the end of what was started in this message. This is the beginning. Go into your day carrying this. And when the evidence arrives, and it will arrive, come back and tell us. Share what happened. Share what shifted. Share what opened. Because your testimony is part of the message too. Your story is part of what someone else who comes to this space will need to hear. You are not just a recipient of this work. You are part of it. Type the words "I am ready" in the comments. Not as a performance, as a declaration to yourself and to everything that is listening. I am ready. Say it again if you need to. I am ready. Now go and live like it is true, because it is.